I'll let you.
All right, everybody, we are ready to get started. All right, everybody, welcome to 1 Million Cups. Happy Wednesday. It is just a minute or two after 9. We are here to help, and so we're going to go ahead and get started. So with that, Maria, next slide, please. There we go. All right. We're sponsored by the Kauffman Foundation. The Kauffman Foundation is we are part of the Kauffman Foundation. There are over 120 chapters around the country. We are here to help people with entrepreneurship, offering both education and opportunities for people to learn and to help them take risks and help them towards their own success. There we go. We have a little delay. We are both a local and national mission. As I mentioned, we have over 120 chapters around the country. We are built on some key pillars. Those pillars are: we are presentations, not pitches. We're about authentic connections and not networking. We are run for the community and by the community. And lastly, we are radically and intentionally inclusive. So we'd love to have everybody here. You know, whether you're just starting out or maybe have a little bit of experience under your belt, we are here to help everybody. All right, so I think we've got some visitors. For those of you that can see the visitors, if anybody would raise their hand, that would be great. Who's
looking for myself?
Oh. Michael Conway
I see Michael Powers, John.
and Michael Conway.
Go ahead, Michael Powers.
I have a Michael Conway.
Conway.
Oh,
Yes.
you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, do you want me or the other Michael?
Oh, go ahead, Michael. While you're speaking, go ahead.
Okay, all right. Well, my name's Michael Conway. I'm actually with New York Life, mostly working on the insurance side, but moving on a path towards becoming a full financial planner. I was told to check this out. I heard about it at the Loudoun Chamber of Commerce. They were having an event. And another contact of mine named Sarah Montague had said she does a number of these 1 Million Cups things and that I should try it out. I'm basically here because I have been moving into the business solutions space at New York Life. And I like to connect with small business owners and people like that who may want to learn about how life insurance and other things can be used for business succession planning, and learn about like group benefits and things of that sort that I can offer and more. Plus, small business owners have more risk than the typical person who works for a company, and so I can help them protect their families and things like that as well.
Great. Thank you, Michael.
Mhm.
And the other Michael. Hello. Let's see. Brad, are you new as well?
Not technically, but glad to be back. Visited a couple of times. I was here last time when we did on the 16th of April.
Oh,
when we had our group talk, and a couple of times earlier in the year, late last year. So it's good to be back. Freelance writer, for those of you who haven't met me before, freelance writer and marketer, friend of Scott Alford's.
Awesome. Very good, Brad. And just as a reminder for everybody, you can certainly make sure to put your contact information in the chat. All right. Is that it on anybody else new?
That's it.
That's it. Great.
Wait, no, Leslie Kane. Leslie Kane just waved her hand.
Leslie.
Good morning. Yes, I am new to this group. I've been going to the Loudoun Million Cups a lot, and so I figured I'd check this out because I'm interested.
Great.
But I have a business called Why Not Today, and it is a podcast where I interview courageous people. I also do a non-traditional networking luncheon in Reston, and then I coach and help people starting their businesses with systems and tools and strategy for the overwhelm that a lot of people have as solopreneurs.
Awesome. Well, glad you're here.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Look forward to having you back.
There's another guest, Brad Hummel.
No, Brad just went. All right, everybody. On this slide, if you would grab your phones, use that QR code to register if you haven't already. And we'd love to get as many registrations as we can, because you can see on that bottom chart, we are in the process of increasing our group. Our goal is to get up to 30. And so we're making progress. So if everybody would register, you'll see this QR code later on in the presentation as well. All right, this doesn't happen by accident. You can see we've got a number of organizers. We've got some of them in the room with us, and we also have our brand ambassadors to help 1 Million Cups grow. We also have a couple of organizations who we partner with. That's Veterans Grow America and the Fairfax Economic Development Authority. All right, and we have a couple of sponsors today. We have the George Mason Enterprise Center, we are here today, and Eddie's not here. So just to talk quickly about the George Mason Enterprise Center, that's where we are today. That's where we are the first of every month. A wonderful facility, which gives us the opportunity to do this hybrid. I would certainly encourage everybody to check out the George Mason Enterprise Center and Incubator Center, which has absolutely wonderful space. So you can always contact Eddie Hill. His contact information is on the screen. And so we always appreciate the George Mason Enterprise Center for allowing us to use their space. With that, we have our coffee sponsor, James Lawson, who's going to come up and be live. Here is James Lawson.
Good morning, everyone. James Lawson from Impact Business Solutions. I am this month's coffee sponsor. So Impact Business Solutions is a coaching and training company specializing in helping what we call early stage businesses. Generally, people below $500,000 a year, although that's not true all the time. But yeah, we specialize in helping them with their marketing foundation and taking them through the start, grow, and scale evolution of a business. So you can find us at impactbizllc.com if you want to go check us out. Thanks so much, and happy to be here, as always.
Great. Thank you, James. James brought vanilla coffee today. All right. With that, how our meetings work. We go through a little bit of business right here, and we're going to jump into the presentation. And so we're going to go ahead and have the presentation. After the presentation, we'll have a moderator. You have the opportunity to ask questions. I do ask that you keep your mics muted if you're not speaking. We are a very friendly group, so encouraged to keep all your questions, comments positive. And with that, next slide, please. All right, so we have Jay-Z who's going to be talking to us today and doing her presentation. Callmejz.ai. Jay-Z, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
She'll go ahead and do your slides.
Oh, you're going to do my
Yep,
slides.
make it easy as possible.
Okay. Can I do a quick intro or could I?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I love 1 Million Cups and the idea of getting help. It's rare for entrepreneurs to ask for help. And the way I got my name is that I am Jenny Zhang, but my initials are Jay-Z, and I rap about AI and machine learning. So when I did that in enterprise corporate, we did that for recruiting data scientists, and it was very successful because I'm a terrible rapper, but it proved that, our team was fun and as fun or more fun than Google and Facebook, where we were trying to recruit, competitively recruit data scientists from. So you can call me Jay-Z. And we can go to the challenge question. So my business, I am vertically integrated around video. I do back-end model training, front-end coding, and UI UX design, and then marketing. So my question is, how do I expand my visibility to the software companies and pre-seed startups that are not funded yet to offer them my AI training and coding services. Oh, and also, how do I expand my visibility to creative software companies to offer them my AI services? So there are two parts in the back end, right? There's the AI model that's kind of the brain, and then there's the code that tells the brain, like, go do steps 1 through 4. So I do both of those things. Next. I'm a AI services company specializing in video AI. So, a lot of you have used chatbots, and I do that, but I niche down and specialize only in imagery, specifically video. So if you've used Midjourney for images or Sora for video, that's my specialty. And in addition to training a custom model, I code, market, and teach for software companies and small startups. I leverage AI to help software startups quickly train and launch video AI models. So any questions? Because, most people in AI even do not know what video AI is and have no idea what I do. So happy to take some establishing questions. Yeah.
So when you talk about the video, talking about recording the videos using AI, there are tools available like Sora that you mentioned.
Right.
Or something beyond.
So there are 3 types of video AI. One is, you could say, definitely, recording. In the recording, you can see sentiment analysis or any, products that you're selling, like eyeglasses, right, in the video and the recording. And then there's editing. So taking, I think someone here talked about podcasting, like taking 60-minute podcasts and then splitting them up into 1-minute shorts. And then there's generative AI, which is none of those things, right? It's like using an avatar model that looks like you or looks like the other more famous Jay-Z and generating a completely new video from it. So, and there, a couple more, but does that kind of answer your question? Yeah.
Let's try
Good
to keep
question.
going to the game.
Okay, let's keep going. So everyone knows the kind of work I do. Company was founded 2 years ago. That's when I started selling, and I operate remotely, so not, based on any location. All right, so the problem that my business solves right now is for non-technical software founders who have paying customers. So right now, like dermatologists who have all these videos and images of cancerous skin or bad skin, event software, lighting software, founders who were like lighting designers before that, and they have like zero interest in becoming technical, but they need someone to create a website for them that does lighting design with, 3D, AR, VR. And so I code their first minimum viable product software. And for software that's already established, that doesn't have AI, maybe they're going for another round of investor funding, then I integrate their custom AI model into their existing software. So like I said, dermatologists, event planners, anything with a high need for visuals. Next. All right, so the main way I generate revenue is I train AI video models. So the people who find me are already, published software, already dedicated to making software. They have too many clients and they don't want to do all this consulting work. They want some way to automate it. Then I also code the back end. So, after you have a model that generates images or video, you need to put it in a database and secure it with a login. Then I create the videos myself. Instead of having someone use the software, I create videos for professional associations, consumer brands, and B2B brands. And last, I teach people how to do it themselves. So maybe there's a very small group of entrepreneurs who want to learn AI themselves, and take the time to really figure it out. So those are the 4 offerings. Next. All right, the value prop is that because AI is so new and very technical, this is an easy way to code and get AI into production so that you can, as a software company, get more users and make more money. My ideal client are non-technical, but in very visual fields. And the unique value that I provide is that instead of using Sora or, the existing models out there, it's a model that's trained on your images. So, healthy skin versus unhealthy skin, or previous events that you've planned using your software. And so it's not just like the generic AI look. Some people hate the generic AI look because it looks so fake and unreal, like unhuman, or, something that you don't trust. So it's more trustworthy, the unique value that I provide. And then what differentiates me is that instead of just hiring a Fiverr contractor, I'll help the founders pitch for a round of funding, and I'm in talks with some to become a co-founder. So it's a longer term relationship. And then my target audience is founders, software companies, solopreneurs, co-founders who are not technical. And usually they haven't launched any software yet, but sometimes they have software and they need to update it with AI. And the companies that would benefit most are companies that have tried incubators, accelerators, no code platforms, and they don't have the time. Like, they're just much better at bringing in clients and paying clients instead of getting into the execution of the software. So what marketing channels are you using? So I get a lot of referral, and I've tried like accelerators, incubators, LinkedIn, Slack, but the referrals still went out. I think partly because it's hard to understand what I do and very few people are committed to doing. Slide. All right, competitors. So, of course, in technology, there are the famous like Facebook and Google product managers or developers who are teaching AI. And I don't focus on chatbots generically or AI like all over the board. I focus only on video. Then a second competitor are the Zapier Make workflow automation people. So they're connecting existing software to each other. But I focus on building custom software, not connecting like your Salesforce to your e-commerce website. And I focus more on marketing, not operations. And then the third competitor are other people like me who are coding with AI. They usually focus on enterprise, and I'm looking for earlier stage founders. And they usually don't like focus on the model training. It's very like new. Next. All right, so how do I expand my visibility to creative software companies and offer them AI services? That is the challenge question. Next. Is that it?
Yeah,
That's it. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So Maria is going to be moderating for us. All right.
Do I step away?
Well, you can say it.
Oh, all right.
Yep,
Thank
stay
you.
there.
So we're
Here.
I'm gonna switch up.
Both of you.
All right,
right.
let's see.
You want to get in?
Yeah, let's see, where's the mouse?
It gets stuck in.
Yeah,
Maria.
right. All right, you can.
Oh, I
whoever wants
see
to
Elon.
go. So please raise your hand. We'll start getting everybody in line and calling your names in order to take your question. Okay, so Melinda, would you come over and ask your question, please?
Okay.
Oh, I guess I'm too short.
Oh, here, I wonder if we can. Here we go.
I'm 5 foot tall. Okay,
Mighty.
mighty, exactly. So I noticed where you define yourself, but I also thought other areas that you might want to consider would be photographers, photo meetups, graphic designers, the whole beauty industry. Because
Mhm.
I'm thinking AI fast pictures, because I'm a photographer and I do a lot of this stuff. Web designers.
Oh, yeah, are there?
Because they have this challenge that they're doing this and they need these types of things. So I will put that in the notes so that you've got it, but you've got it on tape too. And I was just saying, have you thought of these other areas to go after?
Yeah, so they're not really committed. They're like, I hate AI. I've tried it once, maybe 10 times, but I'm not gonna like build software. So I'm curious if like there's a group.
Well, I'm thinking meetup group, go speak to them, talk to them.
I have,
Find the local meetup groups that are for photographers,
okay,
because photographers have to use the AI and they may be able to use it in their prints and the pictures and the other things too.
that's awesome.
And especially graphic designers.
That's true. Thank you.
John Rudenberg.
Thank you, Maria and Jay-Z. That was fantastic. Very exciting. So I want to go back to your first slide, and you had two challenge questions on it, or the same challenge questions, excuse me, with a slight difference in the audience focus.
You're right.
And then as we spoke, you spoke of startup software companies, but you also spoke about dermatologists, who I wouldn't put in the same category. And then as you spoke about your ideal client, you talked about the visual field, which sounds like it could be a good one, except I'm not sure what that means. So my suggestion would be to really narrowly focus. Define what that visual field is. I understand how dermatology or beauty-oriented things could be the direct application, but as great as you are, you can't be everything to everyone. And I would really urge you to be narrow. And if it's dermatologists, be the best AI generator, because dermatologists aren't doing code. Do they need marketing? Do they need slick brochures or the next level of brochures? Absolutely.
Thanks,
I'll
John.
stop there. Just say thank you.
I did. I don't know if you heard me. Thanks, John.
You're fine.
Okay, anybody else?
Then
Come on, AJ.
Hi, JC.
So just
Everyone.
to add to
Good to
what
see
Melinda said, I think one of the targeting and what John said, narrow down the focus,
Yes.
who you want to attack first, one at a time. Another big avenue for you is the guys who are advertising on YouTube. But again, you got to focus where, like take one targeted list of buyers, set of buyers,
Right.
and attack them. And then, like I saw you are posting on the LinkedIn's, the other, channels, but then do you have any tracking who is doing what with what you post? So this is, and then suggested go to the networking events. But the networking events, when you go to, okay, you exchange the business cards, forget you. They forget you, you forget them. There should be some way of tracking it. So what I'm suggesting is narrow down the focus and then have something like maybe a little bit comprehensive, but more than one avenues, more than one channels to approach your targeted buyers. And then as they act and react with your message, you are doing AI. So you got to have tracking. And then based on that, you have to develop a funnel and response until they start becoming interested in what you're offering.
Thank you.
So my 2 cents.
Yeah, I have a question as well. I hear your pain point about having to still teach and educate the people, the community. But it also, I think it's a really great opportunity for you to be that leading professional in our area. And I think that as much as in time investing, you are going to be doing at the beginning, you as an early adopter, right now you're alone. And maybe that's something that feels a little frustrating for you, because it's like, oh, nobody's understanding what I'm talking about. But that actually opens up to influence, to teach, and to lead in our area in a way that will bring clients and awareness to the product that you're selling, because it's so new that nobody's understanding it yet. And that's where you come in to save the day.
Thank you. I don't know.
Right. James, come on.
I am. Listen, this is me moving very fast, just so you know. So back to the client thing. If I were to ask you,
Mhm.
if you look at the spread of everybody that you can do business for, right, that you spoke about earlier on, where in all of that, if you were to pick one, do you create the most value? Because value is very different for everybody,
Right.
right? And so part of the challenge, and John's right about getting that niche, but there's also the second piece, which is, how do I articulate the absolute true value that I bring to that piece, to that client? Because what I saw was services. I'm still not 100% clear what the total outcome is going to look like in terms of, dermatologists on average spend $32 billion a year on marketing, blah, 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 of which right now 1% is AI generated. So there's a market there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so what I would be looking at is to go, I don't want to be everything to everybody. What I want to be is highly specialized in this market for the people that I create the highest amount of value for. Because then your messaging becomes super clear. I think part of your challenge right now is that you're looking at so many different things, is that your actual message in terms of what is the outcome that I actually create for someone is so diluted that people are having a really hard time just figuring that piece out.
Okay.
So that's what I would look at, right?
John is nodding.
Would you agree, John?
I think you're right on, man.
Thank
You're
you, man.
right on. Yes, sir.
It's just that simple.
I'm going to jump in. Since I'm live, I'm going to jump in real quick. So I just want, off of James's comment, finding that high value, that highest value where you offer the most value, because you made the point that it is all about visual. What I would want to see is, what is the before and after look like in what I'm doing? Because otherwise, because the same thing, I heard all the services and stuff, and then you said you were visual. So what I want to see is something, it's almost like a visual case, what do they call it? A visual use case. So that way I can understand what it is that you're offering. So that's just my 2 cents. And it looks like we've got, John, I'm gonna let you take over.
All right, let's go with, I'm gonna take Reggie since he hasn't shared yet.
Sure. So yeah, I agree with a lot of what others have said. I think part of the allure of AI is that you can do just about anything with it. And so I think I would lean into the fact that you can customize these solutions for your clients. Like so the reality might be that you could do something for the dermatologist as well as the early stage software company, but you're not going to be doing the same thing. And so
Well, I'm doing code for dermatologists launching their first software. So it is a very like niche thing already. I'm not like marketing for dermatologists. I'm helping them make software that says, if you don't get this Botox, this is what you'll look like in a year, you know?
Got it. Okay. Yeah, so I think the way that you go about talking to the different audiences is different. And I think you want to highlight the fact that you can customize it for what they need, because the problems might not be the same. And so, but the solution could be whatever they need it to be. And so, you know, I'm not sure if that is necessarily coming across the way you want. So I would focus on that, as well as, you know, try to identify, okay, this is exactly who we provide the most value for. Sort of what John just said, like show them. So the question I like to ask is, what will this allow you to do tomorrow that you can't do today, that you need to do today? And so just kind of lead with that answer, right? Like they need whatever you offer right now, but it's beyond them. And so you can help make it a reality. So I think you have to tell them, but also show them through the case studies and visual examples and things like that. And then also I would try to do more speaking and like get out there on the conference circuit, you know, go to these pitch events and expos and stuff like that, because that's where all these people are. They're trying to get money. They're trying to like be around the people that have money. And you could be the solutions girl, you know, like the custom solutions girl. So
I do all of that, but let me ask you about the customization. So most people, like dermatologists, they want to spend more time on their yachts and not like, you know, doing Botox. So they, you know, obviously we all want to work less and make more money, but in terms of customization, they don't come to me like, oh, build me a custom model. They're like, oh, I have all these images of sunburned, you know, skin, and I want to convince women that they should stay out of the sun. So how do I convince them? They don't like know that a custom model is necessary, right? So how do I talk about the custom part when they're not even asking for it?
Well, I think that's a matter of how you lead those conversations. So, you know, you can, because you're not the only one that's doing what you're doing. Is that right?
Yeah, but I'm saying that's not how they start. That's not the problem in their mind, right?
Right.
They don't start with like, oh, I have to train a custom AI model. Who's going to do that, right? They don't think of it like that.
Right. And so to the degree that it will help them, right? Because you don't want to get them bogged down in like technical stuff, but I think you can walk them along the path of, okay, here's like, there's a basic thing that you need to do, but what if we did this? Like, how would that add value to your operation, right? How would that set you apart from all the other dermatologists that are making themselves, you know, they're taking advantage of this technology that's not out there, right? Like you have to, in the same way that they're in a competitive space, like you're in a competitive space, there are more and more people that are doing what you do every day, right? Because they see the opportunity out there. So you've got to kind of have that early adopter mindset and say, okay, here's the base model, but you know, here's the deluxe version, right? And we could give you the base model, but what could you do with the deluxe version? You know, and so that
like
appeals that appeals to people that are offering a premium service, right? Like they don't know if you don't tell them. So I think you've got to, you know, sure, I can give you the base, but you know, what if we went with the special edition, right? Like, and you could become known as that person that while everybody's doing the base, you can do the special edition. But,
Thanks so much, Reggie.
sure.
All right, Melinda, and then we'll take James. John Rittenberg, you had your hand up. Do you still have a question?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's go with you, and then we'll take Melinda and James.
Okay, just to pick up on this theme, all great comments, Jay-Z. Now that I understand a little bit better about what you're trying to do. The buyer, okay, once you understand your ideal client, then you have to understand who's the buyer at that ideal client, because the buyer at the company who's a startup who's going to use AI to sell some product to dermatologists is different than the practitioner. Okay, even if those startup or those professionals were once doctors, were once dermatologists, they've decided we want to be entrepreneurs and we want to create this thing. That's a different market than dermatologists. So then who is the buyer? So I'm not urging you to do dermatologists or startups in dermatology, but I understand where you can be valuable. And it's not at your highest and best use is not at the retail level. Okay. And let's just choose beauty products for a moment. And startups of beauty products. Now you're starting to define an ideal company, and you're only part of the way there. And then who in that entity is the actual individual who you have to reach? And then there are 100 to reach. And let's say it's 400. I don't really know the number. It depends on the market, depends on the industry or the narrow area you've chosen. Then the question is, how do you meet those 100? Because it's not 1 million people you have to meet. It's under 1,000, certainly in the first 2 years. So pick the narrowest based on your expertise, because I can think of immediate applications where in my own life and business world, it would be helpful. So we can talk offline, but it's really important to get at understanding who that buyer is before you do anything else inside that ideal customer.
Thank you, John. All right, Melinda.
So my next question, taking over from what John just asked, because the buyer is really, really important, is once you define your audience, I would suggest you write a book and or start blogging, and that can become a book. Become a celebrity who become queen of your industry, where you're the go-to person for the industry. You have solutions. So I wrote down also case histories. You probably have some case histories, or you can make up some. Nobody's ever going to know the difference. And use them as examples of companies of how you would help them. Just say, this is how I would help clients like somebody in the beauty industry. And then be real specific. Set up their challenge, and then set up how you can save them time, because the quick loading of the photos and pictures or whatever it might be, and the importance of beauty being very beauty. I come out of the beauty industry and marketing, and where it's really, really important, because I can remember when I went to Vidal Sassoon and the VP of creative, where our department reported, said, you come out of food, what do you know about beauty? It's a very, very niched industry, and they're very, very specific about, if you don't look good, we don't look good type stuff. So I highly recommend the teaching, writing a book, blogging, case histories.
Thank you. I am looking for TV appearances, but
Oh,
I
okay.
have a podcast and people think I'm famous already. So TV is next. Who's next?
All right, let's take it out on the road. Scott, do you still have a question? And then we'll go to Jen.
So I think John covered it quite well. I think one of the really key things is understanding who your buyer is. I think that's going to be really critical for the next steps of, is it going to be directly dermatologists? Is it going to be like marketing agencies, or understanding who is kind of either filling that niche or something that is similar, So being able to define for your customer. I think the other thing is, as I'm looking through your website, you are talking about like language of, do you know who your customers are, right? Connecting and resonating. And I think there's some value in that, but I also think some of it is helping your audience actually tell their story, right? The before and after pictures are demonstrating, right? It's showing people rather than telling them, and giving them the opportunity to actually show their customers, show their potential audience the difference that they can make. So I would probably think about how can you build it around who your ideal audience is and helping them tell their story in a way that no one else can help them tell their story.
Yeah, so marketing agencies are almost allergic to technology. Like they have their old ways of doing things. But, you know, founders who are like entrepreneurs, founders who are not technical, like artists who want to make software, that's my ICP. But it's just really hard to find them because most artists and most dermatologists do not want to make software. So that's where my trouble is, just that they come to find me. And, you know, I have a ton of like referral inbound, but if I wanted to scale, like there's no way I can reach them because they're busy and they're not like on TikTok.
All right, Jen, you're up.
I think you've heard from a lot of folks on telling stories. I think if we step back a minute, a lot of companies still struggle with, I know I need to do AI, but I don't know what that means. So I might go about this a slightly different way, is consider launching a webinar series where you're educating people on how can and should you integrate AI into your marketing? What are you missing if you don't? That was one thought. I think another might be for some of these pitch competitions or places where startups need that help, or entrepreneurs, you know, maybe you do that assessment and you create a short video to showcase how it works. But I know when I talk with business owners about AI in general, they don't understand what they're missing. So painting that picture of here's the cost to your business by not leveraging this in your business strategy is important. And showing how AI integrates into your marketing strategy overall, how it helps with metrics, how it helps with personalization, how it reduces costs and can increase efficiency, since videos, it can be expensive, although it's a lot more democratized now, but AI democratizes it even more potentially. And if you're the expert and you know how to do it, then you're the one who can make it truly unique and custom for each of them and help them, you know, really see the picture of AI in their business, what it would look like once they started using it.
Thanks,
Because I think
Jen.
people miss that.
All right, we'll take briefly James, and then we'll be closing.
Just big stuff. So my kind of one thing here is that there's a lot of discussion around AI, right, and the technology.
Yeah.
And you've said several times that that scares people, right?
Exactly,
Right.
yeah.
And so I think there's two things going on here. I think you've got a technology play. I think you've got a messaging play. And if it's me, and I'm just saying this. So we talk about the dermatology as an example, right? But hypothetically, what if you were going out to the medical industry to help them create a competitive advantage in their marketing, but you're just using AI as a tool to make that happen? I think there's a danger leading with the tech versus leading with a result.
Yeah, I think the idea of like selling the competition, like, of course, you know, everyone's very competitive, but doctors are very competitive. Like, oh, you were on Dr. Oz, you have an app, like I need to do that.
Right.
So that is the competitive edge
Right.
they're seeking.
But right. And so you made a comment about founder startups, but then you also said the dermatologists want to spend time on a yacht. They're no startups. They're already past that stage.
Yeah.
So there's a disconnect for me in my head.
That's true.
And by the way, it could just be me. That
No,
happens
that's
a lot.
true. Yeah.
Right? Where there's this disconnect happens. And
Okay.
so I just think if again we can tighten that up.
Yeah.
But I always believe that there's an industry or a niche that you can create your value for, but technologists are absolutely renowned for wanting to talk about the tech
I don't want to talk
versus
about
talking
yeah.
about like, this is how we're going to create an advantage for you. We're just going to use this to get it done. And by the way, I'm the world's best in the medical field for doing this.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Like, it's
I
not
think that's
that
a-
complicated.
Yeah.
Right. And so I would just get a little bit more clarity. And sometimes you've got to just jump in 90 days and go, this is just where I'm going to focus and do nothing else. And that's the
Yeah.
scary part. But the webinars, the podcasts, creating a micro authority in your space by talking about this stuff, that's how you get noticed.
Oh, I already do that, but I think what you're saying about dermatologists is really true. Like for them to sell Botox, they have to convince you that you're gonna look worse. And so like, half women already think they will, but then the other half is like, oh, I don't know. But then they see an image of their face looking worse. They're like, okay, I'm gonna buy today.
Right.
So it's about shortening the purchase
The life cycle. Yeah.
and then just being more competitive.
Yeah. But the competitive advantage is using your tech to help that in the marketing.
Yeah.
It's not the AI in itself. It's
I
what is it
agree.
giving them.
Yeah, I don't want to talk
Right.
more about something that they didn't even
Right.
want to hear about. They don't, they
Okay.
want me to take care of it, right? They
Fine.
don't want to know.
That's my point.
So, yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah, all right. Thank you.
Okay. All right, come on, Reggie.
Yeah, just a quick idea. Have you thought about like pharmaceutical and like telehealth type companies, where they have to use a lot of imagery and video to show results. So I think about a company like Hims or Hers, where they sell a product and they've got to show, the efficacy of that product. But they're also doing video interfacing with, patients, clients. So it's very much a part of how they deliver their core services. So so that might be, those are companies that are I think a good option for you as well. And a lot of people are trying to, break into they're trying to just disrupt the health and wellness space. So and that totally depends on being able to show how you make skin, cells, all those things better. And you got to be able to visually convey that. So
I like that. I haven't thought of that. What is Him and Hers? Is that a direct to consumer?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
a company that sells product for men and women, generally hair restoration, that type of thing. Yeah.
I see. Interesting.
Massive company.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. Thank
I would
you.
buy it.
Sure.
Probably both those two.
Thank you. Is that,
I think that wraps us up.
Okay.
We do have one more question for you.
yes.
Yeah, share your screen again. Go, and the last question, JC, is coming up. There we go. So what can 1 Million Cups community help you with today? What else can we help you with?
Yeah, I'd like to meet more people in the spaces you're talking about. So like specific meetups that you've already attended, or people who are already influencers in like the visual space, in the like dermatology spaces. So referrals and one-on-one introductions, networking groups that you actually attended versus like just the idea of those things.
Are you averse to meeting up with media companies that might be doing similar things?
I have met with them, but they're not.
That's not what I asked. I'm asking, are you averse to them?
No, I'd love to. Yeah.
I was also gonna say on that same point question, one of the things that I did for marketing was I went to marketing companies. I went to agencies. And you may want to go after the agency world who needs to be doing this and pressing their clients with these ooh and ah for their campaigns and things that they're creating, and they may want to use you to help with their clients. And that's a quick way that you can be part of their staff as a consultant and really go after another door that will open lots of doors at one time, because you'll have all these other salespeople from these agencies trying to sell their clients.
Oh, I've talked to them. They're super not interested,
Well,
but happy to talk to more.
I was gonna say, start even with the car companies in Detroit. They're looking for an edge. I mean, there's beauty to a car when you think about it. And showcase.
Thank you.
And they do the car shows every year. So bring the AI to the car show and let somebody see what it's like driving the car. So-
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Jay-Z, thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. Thank you, Maria. So next week we've got Deborah Lansdowne in a pinch of time. So we'll look forward to that. That will be online next week. All right. All right. And we have some upcoming events. And let's see, I think we can somebody will post those in chat. Yes, you notice a couple of those. Fairfax County Chamber of Commerce, their link to their event list is there, as well as the Reston Chamber. And then we also have the QR code as well, which will take you to that events list for easy access. All right, and we've got a full schedule here. We've got, here's our presenter schedule. Let's see, here we go. So we are May 7th. We've got one for the 14th. We've got Deborah, as I said, for a pinch of time. And then on the 21st, Jen Graydon. The 28th, we've got a town hall. And then in June, we've got some spaces open. So anybody who wants to present, go ahead and scan that QR code. And that will get you into the application. All right. All right, if you would help us spread the word, engage on social media, that QR code will take you to all those links. We try to make it as easy as possible. So anything you can do to spread the word would be great. I appreciate that help. And as I said earlier, this doesn't happen by magic. We'd love to have more organizers, many hands make like work. It is a great opportunity to meet more people and just get involved and have the opportunity to help yourself and help others. And if you are interested in applying, go ahead and type me into the chat. Love to have you join the team. So we're building 1 Million Cups Fairfax. And that is it. Stick around for a little bit of networking. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It has been a lot of fun. Thank you, Jay-Z. All right.
In person, everyone should come in person.
Yes, come in person for coffee and muffins.
Yeah.
I miss the fruit fudge, Amy.
And connection with live people.
Hey, yes, imagine that. All right. Thank you, everybody.
You bet. Hey, John.
Yes, sir.